Today, we wanted to talk about personal communities. How do you build a community around yourself? And this is how we invited Eddie, who gets paid for talking to people about open source and who is actually a GitHub star. And
Yay!
you were awarded something cool, like you were selected one in 50,000, I think. And what's that award?
So yes, last beginning of last year, I was selected as a GitHub star. So I think there's about 32 of us now that were selected out of 55 plus million on GitHub. And then at the end of last year, so like 2 months ago, I was out of that 32, I was selected as the GitHub star of the year. So that's kind of like, one out of 55 plus million. So yeah, still so shocked about it, really. I just wasn't expecting it. I do lots of things like with the community and I just love it. And I just do it for fun and I really enjoy it and they're amazing and I learn so much. So to win an award for that was just epic. So yeah, really, really happy.
Wait, but people
Thank you.
people or rather companies pay you to talk about open source, to hang out with people, to do something like what's since you have this Discord and you have a super popular YouTube channel with 17,000 subscribers, almost 18,000 subscribers, and you have your personal Discord community, what we're going to talk about in a minute. Where is the money? How is the money, or like what are you getting paid for from all of these activities since you're everywhere?
Yeah, I am over quite a few places, and I'm experimenting with a few different things at the moment. My Discord is probably the newest thing. I think it got created, I don't know, maybe like in September potentially of last year, and yeah, I think we're at like 1,200, 1,300 like people already. It's really active. It's really awesome. So your question, where do I make my money
Yeah, like
from?
what do
So
people pay you
with my
for?
client, I have clients all over the world, and I originally started off as a full stack developer, and that's how I, been doing that for 15 years. And over 10 years, I've been a contractor or a freelancer, and in full stack. And then in the more recently, in the last few years, I've been doing more DevRel stuff. So I have been speaking at events. I have been helping companies with their DevRel side, and a lot of the time it's a lot of I suppose not necessarily repetition because every situation is very different and unique. I think a lot of the first conversations we have is a lot of companies trying to do it for sales, and that's usually like the bit where they're stumbling on. They're like, it's not working, we're not growing, and it's they're always just trying to sell, sell, sell. And as soon as they get out of that mindset that it's not about that, then they start growing, and you can start seeing what they can do. And so yes, what I do. So I help them with video content. I find that as the top of the funnel. So it could be short videos or live streams, similar to yourselves. And then from that, I take the audio once it's edited. Maybe make a podcast, and I can take clips for other socials. Again, similar to what you do, and I can get it transcribed and make it into a blog post. There's lots of things around there. So that's the sort of thing that I do really, and I'm just passionate about getting everybody into open source.
Yeah, I have two questions here, but probably since you lastly you mentioned sales, I was wondering how's that eventually helping them with sales? I mean, yeah, of course, running a podcast is something really really nice to have, but if they have this, like let's say long term goal to do a certain amount of sales, how's that leading them to the sales being closed?
That's a great question. I mean, everything needs to have an ROI, and so I do understand that everything's a business, and so I do get that. But I think if companies are taking their DevRel side to directly one to one for sales, it's not going to work. And I see that happen all the time. That's a really good question. So the way I see it is, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So if someone says, right, we've putting out this video, it's cost us, I don't know, a few $1,000s. Now we expect to have some sales from that. It's not going to work. They're going to be disappointed. It's just not going to happen. You got to build up trust with the community. You've got to bring the community into the fold, like let them understand some of your challenges, your pain point, and bridge that gap. And then naturally the sales will come kind of later, indirectly. You're not going to have it directly, but indirectly you will, because later on when those people say, right, okay, we want to use this product or this platform, and say, well, that platform, they're really open about it. They involve, if I have any questions, I can know who I can speak to. It might be someone else from the community, because you get to that certain point where the community is almost self-managing. My community, I'm just so impressed with EddieHub, and we've got some people in the chat here. So big shout out to Vi and Apollo, that they help other people. That's one thing that I really believe in fostering. And I don't want to be the one who answers all the questions. I want to be the one who kind of makes a safe and inclusive environment for everybody. But I want other people to give their opinions. When we had our community call, and it was a chance for people to ask questions in an audio chat, I didn't want myself to answer all the questions because I wanted to hear other people's opinions. So it was quite interesting when some people said, oh yeah, I have a question. Like, yeah, please, go ahead, ask it. And it'd be like, Eddie, what do you think? And it's like, no, what does the community think? I don't have all the answers. I'm happy to share my experience and my opinion, but it's important for us to hear other people's experience and opinion and so on. So I think it takes time. It takes a lot of time for a company and their community to build up a community, to build up trust in the community, and it can be easily lost. I have seen that happen before as well, and companies just think, well, all these people now, we're just going to sell to them, right? We've got, I don't know, 1,000 people. Let's just sell to them. It's like it's not. You want them to buy from you because they want to, because they trust you, because it's authentic, not because they're kind of being sold to and you're trying to squeeze them into a funnel or something like
Karina
that.
looks skeptical.
Hopefully that answers that.
Karina, you still look skeptical.
No, I don't. I'm enjoying the talk. I'm listening. And the reason I'm asking the sales question is because I used to sell, and I'm
just she's selling everything.
Oh no, stay away.
Yeah.
But Karina, as a salesperson, like what kind of KPIs would you expect from Eddie to bring in? And it would be interesting to see if it matches of what Eddie has to bring back to whoever pays him to talk about, like to be himself online for money.
Yeah, but you see, this is totally. I won't say it's a different approach. I think this is an activity. I mean, building a community. Of course, it's a long-term one, and this is something that you can have like in parallel with your sales process, right? And this is something that eventually will bring you It will bring you there where you want to be, right? And having a community, of course, it helps a lot, and in the sales process as well. I mean, what could be better if the person would come with a thought that he actually wants to buy from you as a company, rather than you would come to him or her like pushing to buy this product. And as you mentioned before, technical products, it's pretty hard to sell them, right? It's better to adopt them, to make people adopt them rather than just
hereby
buy.
You can say how Karina has been charmed into DevRel from being a salesperson. So yes, it helps.
Like, why would you need even a Discord community? I mean, this is like pretty straightforward question, but like as a personal community, why, for example, your just YouTube channel would not be enough for you? Why would you need to talk with your audience?
I like this question, but before I answer that, I was just going to say I've seen a question in the chat by Apollo asking what is DevRel. So I just wanted, if we could maybe elaborate a little bit on that. So the way I see DevRel is developer relations, where it's a bit like developer evangelist. There is people who do things slightly different. I kind of bundle them all into the same one. So apologies if people don't like that. But it's bringing the tech people, it's a bit like DX, the developer experience, bringing them kind of closer to your product. So therefore they trust it and they want to use it. So when they go to a new project or a new company, they say, right, I want to use this project because it's awesome, rather than someone at the top saying, hey, you must use this. Like imagine Jira. Everyone hates Jira. Like it's rubbish. But usually when you go to a project or you go to a company saying, right, we're agile, we use Jira, and they force it on you, ram it down your throat. No one likes it and no one really uses it properly because they don't want to use it. Whereas if it's the other way, and rather being top down, it's more bottom up, then people want to do a good job with it. They want to make it good. They want to learn more about it. And so, and they'll recommend it to other people in the company who might not have used it before, or other people joining the project. So that's my thought. I don't know what everyone else thinks on that. And I hear my lag. I understand my lag is back. I see from
Yes,
the chat.
we
So I'm
were so
sorry.
shy to tell you that you're edgy again, but
Yeah, talking about personal communities, let me pop in like super quickly. Having a personal community, how does that help you? I mean, like running your own community, how does it help you to set it down for your clients?
and why Discord?
Yeah, and with Discord.
Yeah, so it kind of dovetails into Lara's question about Discord. So it really helps for multiple reasons. One, because some of my clients want me to share some of the things that I like about their platform or their product with my community. And I'm super selective on this. It's very rare I do this, but it is kind of a hook to start that conversation with them. So then the YouTube, is it enough? Is what I kind of, Lara was saying. I'm gonna try and tie it back into that. So if I miss anything out, please do let me know. But the YouTube, a lot of people do just have the YouTube side, but I feel between videos, between live streams, you want to foster that conversation, and I want to get more feedback from the community, understand what their challenges are, so I know what content to produce. Or if I have a video idea, I can chat with them about it. That's been really important. So I wish I started that sooner. I started that very recently. So my YouTube channel is about 3 years old, and my Discord is probably like 4 months, 5 months old, something like that. So it does take extra work, I think, to do the Discord at the beginning, because you're like the only moderator, you're trying to foster this community and so forth. Then what happened more recently is now I've got a lot more mods. They really do so much. So many people in the community really help each other. They answer a lot of questions. And I'm trying to almost trying to partly take a slight step back, not because I don't want to spend time there, but because I want the community to collaborate with each other. And when they need me, they tag me. So Discord has helped me not grow the YouTube bigger, but it's helped me strengthen the engagement and my network with the people who watch the YouTube. So it's definitely strengthened that. And I think the other part of the question was, why do my clients care? Is because I can say I've tried this. I might want to experiment slightly differently, and I might try something. I've tried this and it had a positive effect, or I tried this and it had a negative effect. And they might not do it in their community, but they just want to know about other potential options that they can do in the future. So yeah, hopefully that answers that question, but it has. And I think my biggest regret with doing all of this is just not starting everything sooner, not starting YouTube sooner, not starting Discord sooner, not starting open source sooner. That was like over 10 years ago, and there was no GitHub back then. But still, I wish I started sooner, because I would have learned so many different things.
Oh, by the way, how did you promote your Discord community, or like in YouTube, or somehow in your GitHub, or how did you make promotions? Because you told that you have quite a lot of people there. So how did you do that?
It kind of just exploded overnight. I think because I was trying to do something different. I was trying to be really niche. So what we focused on in our community was, it was super inclusive, and we focused on open source. I mean, that was our goal. And our goal was to help each other. So it wasn't about, there were a few people who were the experts. Everyone is an expert. So we have no mentors and no mentees, in terms of there's 5 mentors and I don't know, everyone else is a mentee. We don't have that. We really believe that everyone is a mentee and everyone is a mentor. So I'm learning every day, and hopefully I'm helping everyone every day. And that goes for everybody. Because even if people are, 1 month into their journey, we try and explain to them that you might be 1 month into your journey, but there's someone where you were a month ago. So you can help somebody as well. And you'll learn so much more from that and grow your network. So we really fostered that. And it's and it really helped. So other people just kind of what's the expression, picked up the light and kind of carried on with it. And I really loved that. And we try to use super inclusive terminology as well. So if people keep saying hey guys, and it just really bugs me. It's like, no, there's not only guys here. And so I started manually mentioning that. And then I put a bot in there to pick up on those things and come up with suggestions, like say, hey folks, hey everyone, hey people. And there was a lot of pushback on that, but I think we broke through that, and people have realized that the benefits of being inclusive. So yeah, it just strengthened it. I think I took a little bit of risk of there. I did lose some numbers. I remember, I think I was like I don't know, 450 or something, 400. And then when I put that bot in, I lost, I don't know, maybe 50 or 100 people literally within 2 days. And I thought, that's fine. I want to go for quality rather than quantity. I don't need that vanity metric. And then from that, it was again a slow grow, and then it's just suddenly exploded in the last kind of like month. I think it must have grown by like 80% or
Right. And how do you
80%.
handle
Yeah, so
growth?
yeah,
Since I
six,
mean,
700.
it's only you, and you have to do like both contract work and, well, you have a life also. That's what people in the chat may forget, nagging you, for example, at night, like, why you don't respond? Well, it's night. But how do you handle growth? Like, that's perfect. You found something. The community loves you. They want your time. How to handle growth?
That's another really great question. These questions are awesome. I love them. So the way to do that is it was hard again at the beginning, and people, you're right, would message me at all hours of the day and night, and then I wouldn't reply because I'd be asleep or having dinner, and then I would get a message, say on DM on Discord, then 5 minutes later a message from them on Twitter, then 5 minutes later a message on LinkedIn, and 5 minutes later a message on something else, and it literally I'll have like 10 messages from one person within 10 minutes just saying, you're not answering me, and it's like I'm asleep or something. It's time zones. And that was hard. And I always I replied with, you don't need to DM me. If you ask publicly in the community, someone else can actually help. And for 3 reasons is better. One is you'll get an answer sooner. 2, you'll get to see other people's opinions as well as mine. And 3, other people can learn from it, because 9 times out of 10, all the questions are the same. How do I get into open source? How do I accelerate my career? Or something like that. Most of the questions are the same. And some people still DM me and say, oh, mine's private. I want to message you because it's a private question. I'm like, okay. I thought maybe they want to help negotiate money or something with their job. How do I get into open source? It's like, that is not a private question. It's something we all talk about publicly. So yeah, literally 99.9% of the time, there aren't private questions. And I encourage them to chat publicly, and then other people get involved in the conversation and think, oh, that question helped me. Oh, I'm looking forward to the answer. Or, or someone who's a month ahead might say, oh, I did this and it helped me, or this didn't help me. I found it a waste of time, whatever it is. And that really fostered a collaborative community. And that's what really we're focusing on. And I really, really love that. And I just see people in the chat saying, not much collaboration can be done on YouTube between the community, and and we have lots of amazing people in our community. We do. And I think just empowering people as well was really good. So the other thing I did when I noticed, I had lots of people asking me, oh, can I be a mod? Can I be a mod? But when I noticed there were certain people that had the same kind of same goals as me, as in wanting to be inclusive, wanting to foster collaboration between people, I reached out to them and say, hey, can you be a mod? Can you help me? And so we have, I think, maybe like 10 mods now. Not all of them are active, probably only like 2 or 3 are the real active ones. But we're across time zones. So usually people get an answer pretty quickly from someone else in the community. And then there's a mod to regulate if there's, any issues. But, touch words, we have had really no issues. I think maybe 1 or 2 issues over the whole time. And they were just, very small and rare, nothing big. And everyone's just been super supportive and really helped each other. So yeah, big shout out to the EddieHub community. Vi and Apollo here from my community. And they're really active in the community and, really support everybody.
Do you use bots
Nicola.
also to foster this collaboration between people?
I do. So we do have a few bots. So we have Nightbot, which regulates the YouTube chat as well as Discord, doesn't allow links to be posted unless it's from GitHub. Because we want to promote GitHub links, people to share their open source projects, but I don't want people to spam it. And then we also have the MEE6 bot, which kind of gives you your level, your stats. But we noticed this actually had a negative effect because people who've been there earlier on from the beginning, their level was really high and new people could never catch up. So we actually reset that every month. So therefore, everyone gets a chance to kind of level up themselves. Some people didn't like that. They got upset that they lost a few months of work. And it's like, well, no, this is part of being an inclusive community. And they might have been a bit grumpy at first, but then realized that it was more inclusive, and it takes a bit of time, but then, it's worked quite well. And then we have an EddieBot, which is one we're writing ourselves with the community. And it's a bit rough around the edges. But one of the things I do like was this whole "Hey guys" thing, where it kind of prompts and says, "Did you mean, hey folks, hey
Yeah, I've
people," and so
noticed
forth.
it.
And there was,
Yeah,
I
me
remember
too.
when I came to your Discord community and I wrote something he's or something like this.
yes,
and
yes.
This boy was angry at me, why do you use pronouns? I was like, oh, I'm sorry. So, yeah.
We use a library, so we have our custom bot, but we didn't write all that. We include a library called AlexJS, which tries to promote inclusive terminology. And yes, so there are things you can put to ignore, and we have ignored some things because there are some technical terms that we use, and it kept on flagging those up. And it's like, no, actually, that's a technical term. We don't want that flagged up. And some people did want to ignore more words, and it was like, no, those words need to be ignored.
And you also have sponsors.
Yes, so I have GitHub sponsors. I think I have 14 now, maybe. And so I have GitHub sponsors, and I don't do Patreon. I don't like how they take a big cut and the way they manage their things. Whereas GitHub, I do like that. And again, with us focusing on open source, for me, that was really important. So I do have GitHub sponsors. We get a sponsor call with me every Sunday afternoon, and we just kind of hang out on Discord, audio or video, and just chill. Well, I do give them a bit behind the scenes. I want to give them some more behind the scenes, and some of those are active, some of those are not. So a lot of them just want to sponsor and support, and they sponsored me for an entire year. Whereas some of them are really active and want to chat, every week and regularly, and we just have a laugh and so on. So yeah, that's awesome. So I don't really shout out in my YouTube. I mention my Discord, but I don't do a big push. There's a link in the description. It's grown more organically. I think again, the community reach out to their friends, or they say, well, where are you hanging out? And they say, we're hanging out here. It's really inclusive and welcoming community.
If we can derail a bit into that for just a bit, if Eddie has time, since most technical communities are old men dominated, and old meaning 30 plus, because this is how it works. That's who you see in the community. And people tend to gather around people like themselves, about people like they understand. And many online communities are just built around very experienced
And then they come to our community and they see me who's bullying everybody. Very nice.
Yes.
Some young chick appeared.
And I notice how people, in most cases, like it. As in, whatever is happening, it's fun, it's new, it's different. So yeah. What's your take, Eddie? How inclusivity on one side, and having a very, very strong mood and vibe on another side?
I think being inclusive is really important, and just having that diversity makes projects so much better. I see it all the time. So I used to do a lot of hackathons up just before COVID, and the 6 just before COVID, I won, or our team won, and there was definitely something very different about those teams. It was half the team were non-techies, were completely different background, different experiences, and it was brilliant because they gave a very different perspective. And so the more and more we try to make our teams more diverse, the more we won. And so that was really, really important. So that's what I want for communities, because I think that's what's successful, having those different points of views. And usually the underrepresented groups, they might join and then they kind of leave. So to give an example, one situation that we had near the beginning of my Discord community was a lady had joined, and I wasn't I wasn't in Discord at the time. But what I noticed when I came back half an hour later, that people were saying, "Oh, where are you? You're from India. Where are you from? We're in India too." And then it just started getting more and more. Which area, kind of which school, how old you are, which uni you at, and so forth. And I was like, wait a second, this has gone from just, hey, we're in the same city, nice to meet you, sort of thing, to a dating situation. And then I had to just jump in and say, look, this is not a dating platform. It's about open source. And it was two young guys, pestering this young lady. And so I said, look, there's no warnings. Literally, stop this conversation now. It's about focus it on tech and stop there. And those two guys actually decided to leave. I didn't kick them out. They actually decided to leave I think, from embarrassment. Because they were kind of harassing her, and I messaged her. I said, "Look, I'm really sorry about this. First time it's happened. It's not something we allow. I hope you will stay, but I understand if you want to leave, and if you need help with anything, just DM me directly, because I don't encourage DMs, but with situations like that, I do encourage them so they can be dealt with swiftly." And all three of them aren't very active in the community. I don't know if it's because of that situation or not, but as we've got more underrepresented groups into the community, so say younger people, women or trans people and so on, that's just then promoted more of that, which I think has been excellent. So therefore, diversity has kind of promoted diversity. And then we entered a hackathon a few weeks ago. I didn't take part. I just set it up for the MLH hackathon. And from third position, we set it up our team. It's like a guild. Which the community asked me to create like 1 or 2 days before. But then when it started, we were in third place after the first day. And then within 2-3 days, we were in first. And we won by a landslide. And that was because of all the collaboration. So people were saying, "Hey, today I've completed the 5 tasks. I'm awesome. See you later. Goodbye." And then I stepped in and said, "That's great. But do you realize that it'd be better if you did 3 tasks for today, but then helped other people get to 3 tasks rather than them being stuck on the first? That's how we will win. Not just about you completing a task, but everyone completing, more tasks." And then I think from like second position, they did that. We went to first, and other people realized by helping each other and collaborating was actually more useful and more beneficial. And then, like I said, we won by a landslide after the week of the hackathon. And I think that was a good turning point where people realized collaboration, communication is really important. And it focused the community even more on open source and collaboration. And then, yeah, we haven't had any of those kind of situations that I'm aware of. When we do enforce the code of conduct, we do have a code of conduct and we do enforce it.
I was wondering, how do you engage with your community? Because you told that people are engaging by themselves usually there. But what are you doing there? Like, how do you engage with them?
Were you trying to say that I don't do anything? So I try and get involved in the conversation when I can. And even I don't want to dominate the conversation. I just want to kind of maybe add some input to it. I think that's a mistake I made in the past, like years ago, when I had other small communities, and I've learned from that. Whereas now I just want to be just another person in the conversation. I don't want to be the person, having the conversation. So I think that really helped, and I think people appreciate that. So I do jump into the conversation sometimes, but I wake up and there might be like over 1,000, I don't know, maybe like 500, 1,000 messages. I wake up with 300-400 GitHub notifications every day as well, people collaborating. And these are GitHub notifications, not where I've subscribed to a repository and I'm getting every notification. These are actual notifications where I am involved in the discussion. Either I started it or I put a comment or something like that, or someone's tagged me. The great thing about our community is most of these can be dealt with really quickly. Like 300-400 sounds like a lot, but the good thing is most issues have already been reviewed, or most pull requests have been reviewed, and they've already been merged, because now I've got people as maintainers on some of our community projects. And I just need to having a look, just glancing over it, just so I'm aware of kind of what is going on, but I don't have to go into the detail. So although those numbers sound really high, it's not something I have to go through with a fine tooth comb, because the community really get involved and support each other, and that's such a great way for them to grow their network and accelerate their skills. Did I answer that, or did I get sidetracked a little bit and drift?
I guess you answered it. So you don't make any like calls or any kind of, I don't know, active hangouts yet?
We do a live stream every Monday, and that's with me
Okay.
talking, and then the community in the chat. But also we do have a monthly call that we just started a couple of weeks ago. So now we're going to do the last Saturday of every month, an audio only call where the community can get to speak. We had so many people on the previous call that not even half the people got to talk, even though people kept it quite short. So we're going to try and find a way of how to get a chance for more people who want to practice their speaking on a call. Like one person who spoke last the Sunday before last, they said, I've never been on a call with more than 2 people. So to have like 60, 70 people on this call, I'm really nervous. And we're like, yeah, you're doing great. Everyone was super supportive. And I just loved it. And then they spoke for like 30 seconds and they felt like a massive achievement. And yeah, and it's awesome to get the positive feedback afterwards. When people feedback positively, that is what gives me the energy to do more. So for example, one thing that people started doing is sharing a screenshot of the live stream on socials. And I tell people, if they do that, that's great. I'm definitely going to like it if you tag me, but I'm not necessarily going to reshare it. If you want to reshare it, you need to add value, just like open source. So what you need to do is when you take that screenshot, what's one thing you enjoyed, one thing you learned, one thing that, or 2 things or 3 things that stood out. And to give another example on that, we have someone in our community called Siddharth, and there was a conference in December called GitHub Universe, and I couldn't attend most of it, and a lot of other people couldn't attend. One of my videos was played during that conference, but a lot of them I couldn't attend. Siddharth attended the whole conference and made notes every day on our GitHub organization and just bullet points. I went to this talk. This is what I took up my takeaways from it. And here's a link to more information. Like it was like a page for every day. And it was amazing. And not only was it amazing, the community loved it, but even some of my clients said, oh, we saw this on your GitHub organization. This is someone we might need to speak to in the future when they kind of, finish uni. And I love that it wasn't me shouting them out, although I did back them up after my client mentioned it. But I think it was great that by adding value, you're going to get noticed more, and it's such a great way to stand out.
How do we twist the next 4 minutes? Do we squeeze Eddie to tell what plans he has for the community and how it's gonna grow, or do we try to make a summary? What do we do? If you have time for both, Eddie, then yeah. Do we squeeze the future out of you, or
always?
Okay.
For all of you, always. I love you. I love your community, and you're just so awesome.
Yes.
I wish I could hang out with you more. I really do. I really miss. Yeah, these calls every Friday, and I love them. And I've been really sad that I haven't been able to join. So
Yes.
I do miss you all. So I'm more than happy to geek out for a little bit longer. But to answer those, I'll let maybe you do the summary. But to answer what I have plans for the future, I'm not looking for the vanity metric to grow the number. I don't want to have this massive number. I want more people engaging. So there's like a higher percentage of people engaging, higher percentage of people helping each other. Like we now have an achievements channel. I might have stole that idea from you or someone else. I can't know. I stole it from somewhere. And I want people to share their achievements. When people say, hey, I got a job recently, thank you all so much for helping me with my open source journey, etc. and so on. Like that gives me the energy. I love that.
Holy Spirit in your achievement channel has burned his soul. That's what he says. Holy Spirit in achievements channel at EddieHub tells that his achievement that he has burned his soul.
I didn't see that. I have to catch up on some
It's
messages.
Right on
but
screen, so yeah, but please continue. Sorry for jumping in.
No worries. Okay, it's a GitHub repo. Okay, I'll have to have a look. So what I would like to do is I would like to have more giveaways for my community. So like I have just a box arrived today. I have more stickers to give to my community, but I want even more. So I would love my clients to be able to do more giveaways. I would like help them get more work with my clients, because a lot of them do look for more developers, DevRel. Actually, I just noticed a notification pop up about 15 minutes ago by someone saying, looking for a DevRel in Australia to cover that time zone. Do you recommend anyone? I know there are so many people in our community who I would recommend as a developer or as a DevRel, because I just see them, helping so many people. We recently created, actually 2 days ago, a LinkedIn company I call it, I think, organization for EddieHub, so people can put it as volunteer work in their LinkedIn profile. And for the people who are really active, I want to make time to go and actually give them, what do you call it, LinkedIn recommendation, because I love it how they help people, and I'd love to be able to give them a recommendation. So I see other communities saying, hey, pay me $50 and I'll give you a recommendation. I'll write whatever you want. It's like, no, you can't buy that. I want the recommendation to be authentic and to be real. So where do I see it going? Just strengthening what we have at the moment. And I think we've been doing a lot of cross community collaborations. We did one a couple of weeks ago on our call, and we'd love for your community to join us as well. And so we do have like a sign up page where we do it all on Discord, but we sign up so we can notify these people about future events. We're doing once a month. We've just done it once now, but it turned out really well. And on that page, sign up page, we just put all the people who we're in collaboration with, and we are selective with our communities. Again, we want to collaborate with inclusive communities. But yeah, we can. That's a very recent thing.
And yeah, we are totally up for that. And thanks everybody from Eddie community hanging out with us. It's been fun. We got introduced to Potato, to a person starting with V that Eddie has mastered how to pronounce, and I not.
It took me a long time to master it.
And Apollo, who is not a god and not a spaceship. Thank you for that's a shout out. And right. So what I have learned throughout this hour is that
you're making again this terrible game. No,
Okay.
please. No.
okay.
Please.
How do you wrap it up? You're the boss.
I can do a wrap
for
up.
recording. Okay.
Thank you all so much for joining us. I hope you learned a lot and had fun with us at the same time. We covered how to kind of get into a community, where you should put your community, why you should join a community, and make sure you enjoy an inclusive community like EddieHub or like DevRel events. You will grow your network. You will learn so much. You will meet so many amazing people. And trust me, that is the best way to accelerate your learning and your career. So if you want to hear more about this, don't forget to subscribe to DevRel's events Twitch channel, YouTube channel, like them on Facebook, on Twitter. They do lots of funny clips on socials, which I look forward to every day, especially when they say LinkedIn. It just makes my day. If I don't get that daily dose, my day goes horribly wrong. So that is just brilliant. And it's so funny. And it's great how the dynamics between everyone here, they pick on each other. It's like, you call it like a sitcom, like a TV series. I love it. It is so much fun. And not only that, they want you to hang out with them. So they do Friday calls so you can actually hang out with them. So they keep it real and authentic, and you can learn from each other and share. So subscribe to Twitch and get involved in the conversation and their awesome community.
I feel so awesome right now. Like, I don't know, even my grandma don't tell me such good things, Now I feel so good. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you, Eddie, for this professional wrap-up.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming and sharing all the techniques and everything, all your learnings about your community, why, where, and thanks a lot.
Yeah,
and we're waiting for you like all the time.
Thank you so much for having me here. It was awesome to geek out with you all.
Thanks.